And gallery view up. It's Just3Jobbers. Oh, what's up, everybody? We are back. This is Dirty Kev, and I am with the originals, the OGs, the other two of the three jobbers, baby. Max Zwakin, M. Abdallah, Mustafa Abdallah, baby. How the hell are you guys today? Thursday. Woo!
I'm going good. Just watched a great episode of AEW. I'm pumped to talk about it.
I'll tell you what, Max, isn't AEW, isn't just Wednesday nights just such better wrestling?
Yeah,
it's a lot easier shows to get through. It's just, it's breezy, it's fun.
I think it's because it's 2 hours. I mean, it's 2 hours.
I mean, and the best thing about Wednesdays is, like, even if it's not amazing, like, it's not top tier AEW, it's almost always something you haven't seen before, something new. Yeah. Where, like, you're actually, like, getting experience that's different, whereas, like, Raw, even with matches that are kind of fresh, can just seem very bland sometimes.
Because we've seen
if AEW is bad, you can just turn on the USA and watch NXT, because NXT is
NXT might have had the best story. Might right now have the best storyline leading to a championship match out of any of the shows on anything right now. Honestly.
Yeah, Cross versus Keith Lee. It's gonna be huge.
Yeah, that's gonna be gigantic.
That's gonna be huge.
Love it. But hey, we're here for AEW.
Personally, I don't think Keith Lee can win, but.
Do you think he's going to head up to the main roster? I thought Undisputed Era was going to head to the main roster, but then freaking Roderick Strong showed up.
He got squished.
I just don't think Karrion Kross can lose, and if they're going to push him to a title match, then I think he has to win.
All right, back to AEW.
Yes.
All right, so back to AEW here. Now, the beginning of the show, I mean, Moose, do you kind of want to like lead this off with the beginning of the show? What was the beginning of the show?
So the beginning of the show, we had the TNT.
I'll admit it, I didn't show up until about 20 minutes in, and I didn't record.
You missed the TNT title match again?
Yeah.
That's 2 weeks in a row.
So it started with the TNT title match. Cody Rhodes is issuing a challenge, and out comes Eddie Kingston. 18-year veteran, AEW debut, and he's talking a bunch of crap and stuff and saying he's a better wrestler, and they wrestle and they have a decent 10-15 minute match, and he pulls out thumbtacks.
It was a DQ, no DQ match.
Yeah, he said Tony Khan says no DQ, so he goes and under the ring pulls out shades of Mick Foley, bunch of thumbtacks, and slams Cody Rhodes into thumbtacks, and it was a good spot, but we had Cody Rhodes end up retaining, and that's all we knew that was going to happen when he's going to face Eddie Kingston. So,
what do you think of Eddie Kingston, Moose? I feel like Eddie Kingston's someone who might resonate with you, even though he may not have.
I like him, but like
pretty good promo.
Yeah, he can talk, but I'm not really a fan of his wrestling.
Okay.
He just kind of
interesting.
Just seems like a big blob out there to me. I don't know.
His look is terrible. That's the one thing.
He can talk though. He can talk.
I get where you're coming from, but like I gotta respect like the everyman look. Like he just looks like a regular guy from New York. To me, he just looks like a guy that's like just got drunk at a bar in New York and he comes and wants to fight, and like his character seems like I just like I saw somebody tweet like that Eddie Kingston's like a guy that like his character doesn't seem like a character, it seems like it's him, and it's like there's not a lot of people like that anymore where it's just like people exude their own charisma so easily they don't even have to like
kind of like Enzo
go over the top. Maybe, sure, that's maybe a weird comparison, but I kind of see that. But I liked his promo, and like it definitely like set up a good match. Like it seemed like it really meant a lot to him because like his opportunity. So I enjoyed it. It wasn't like like amazing match. Obviously,
they hyped him as being like the number one in independent wrestler.
Yeah, he's an 18-year veteran. That's what.
I don't know if he's actually a independent wrestler, but he's. I mean, there's not a list for that, so like it's obviously kind of an opinion type thing.
Subjective.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, I'll always pop for a thumbtack spot. I mean, that's pretty gnarly,
especially to start off a freaking show. You never get that in WWE.
Well, I thought it was pretty cool though. At the end of the match, Cody Rhodes was picking out his own thumbtacks in his arm.
Oh yeah,
like it just shows like how he's like tough motherfucker. Can't cuss, but
in the next match when MJF came out, I'm pretty sure I saw MJF at the very beginning. He had to like throw a thumbtack out of the ring. He just looked annoyed. I thought it was great.
Why does MJF keep wrestling jobbers? What are they setting him up for?
I don't know, cause it was entertaining to see him like talk down to a jobber.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's still cool, but like I want to see him he's undefeated.
I don't know. Griff Garrison looks like a young guy that
could be
5
good,
years down the line, if he can continue to grow and like continue to be in great shape, could be.
He looks really young, so
he's really young. He's got a really great like
Jungle Man
young look.
Jungle Man. That's what MJF.
Yeah, he looks kind of like Jungle Boy. He kind of has that kind of flair to him. Like if he can get the right spot and the right character, like down the line, once he's like has a few years under his belt, and he can like has more experience. Like this is a guy that could be a good, like really great young talent for AEW.
That's why I want guys like. That's why I want like Arn Anderson and Tony Blanchard to mentor these guys that need, the help. They're just coming into the business instead of having, coaching Cody or whoever who are set stars. You know what I mean? I just kind of think that. I mean, behind the scenes, obviously they are, but I think that's what they need to go do instead of this 4 horsemen stuff.
Okay, all right. So I think we mixed in about 3 different segments somehow into that. So let's take a step back a little bit. Well, I just think we moved on from Cody's to MJF to now 4 horsemen, which I understand. I kind of know your logic behind it. Okay, let's slow it down a little bit.
We just lost Kevin's audio.
No, he's not you're not talking.
Fuck. Hello, can you hear me?
You're back now. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You're like, all right, let's get back to business. Then your audio's out. I'm like, oh, well, we're back to business.
I thought we just hear fuck. All right, cool. All right. What do we think is going on? I think is this just more that they don't know what to do with MJF while like he's trying to build himself up? Is it more just because with COVID-19 it's hard for him to have it every episode? I mean, what is this leading to? Is he having a big match at AEW all out, considering he was one of the biggest characters in all the company in the beginning of the year?
I could see maybe them having him versus Cody for the TNT title, but that's really the only thing I could see.
Maybe him versus Jungle Boy again?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But I don't know. Really don't know.
I don't know if I want to see that match again after I've seen it in tag teams and this. But, I mean, I don't have an issue really with him beating Griff Garrison this week just because.
No, obviously everyone knows.
Just because, like, I think so that him and Wardlow are coming off a tag team loss. I mean, they wanted to get him a win, get him talking crap to a jobber again, which is really what he's best at, just shit talking.
Yeah.
And, that's mission accomplished. And, like, they have a month and a half or more, maybe a little less than a month and a half, around that time until they all out, which is more than enough time to set him up for a match, which I think they'll definitely get him on that card. They just have to figure out what they want to do. And they taped this show last week, so they probably just wanted to make sure that MJF didn't go 2 weeks without a match or a spot, and then like they're probably going to start really progressing things next week because this like last week's segment was – or they taped for the fall and then this week. So then now the next week they're going to probably be taping. I don't know if they'll tape 2 weeks of show next week. It's kind of haphazard how they're taping, but I don't know. I thought they probably just wanted to get him on the show and not have him be 2 weeks really, just since they weren't taping this week.
Good point. No, that's a very good point. MJF, he's in a tough spot. I think just because he's really, really over, and I think they almost do want to get Wardlow over too. I don't know. I'm not going to complain because honestly, again, I'm like, I just love how AEW just feels when you're watching it, like on TV, how it looks and everything. So I don't know why. I don't. You guys notice like I feel like MGF gets it out of the crowd like one of the most out of anybody, and the crowd seems so real in AEW. It doesn't seem like boo, yay, you cheer. Like it seemed. Did you guys notice that with at all with AEW?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, but, like, there's some times where, like, there's a solid match between, like, Ivelisse and Diamante, but, like, there's, like, spots in the middle of the match where, like, the crowd's very loud and, like, cheering super loud for, like, a really, like, not great spot. There's a moment that's not very exciting. It's, like, still seems like it wouldn't be that loud regularly at, like, a certain moment like that, but it's what are you going to do? It's a crowd that they're paying people to be there at, so it's like it's not really looking. I don't know. For the most part, it does seem more organic though.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. All right. Then, if anything, should we just go into that Falls Count Anywhere with Butcher and the Blade versus the Young Bucks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean that was a great. I mean that was a great. Or was there something in between I'm missing?
There was a Britt Baker segment. That was basically it.
Oh, do you want to go into that quick?
It's only really like Super Baker. I mean, she's great as usual. She had another surgery on her septum from just I think a cleanup surgery from her when she busted her nose with Sheeta back in early this year. And then I mean, just having her talk about how she's the Michael Jordan with coming back to the Washington Wizards, just not realizing that he didn't really find any success with the Wizards, but like not letting anybody correct her. She's just so arrogant and great. And like I think so when they announced it, they said she's going to be back for All Out. So it's looking like her and Big Swole, that's actually the match can actually come to fruition sooner rather than later. And like they've kind of been progressing this match pretty well. So I think that's going to be a pretty anticipated match to have her finally be back in the ring. So let's
good on AEW for making a women's like secondary match a very like a good storyline. I'm very much captive. Like I'm into this. I'm just as on the same line with you, man. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I mean, Big Swole is really entertaining, obviously, and Britt Baker probably is my favorite women's wrestler in this whole women's division. So it's like, it's also was the cards they were dealt with her injury made it pretty easy for them to be able to kind of slowly progress into a feud like this without overextending their grounds, just because they can't have a match, so they have to be creative and like slow play it, which has worked out really well, you know. So like when they got put into kind of a tough spot, they really have done well.
Yeah. So I don't know. And we were just talking about how, honestly, if you look back in the archives, Moose, especially you, I think you remember this one. We were talking about how AEW's women's division is just not where it needs to be right now. And when, especially when Britt got injured and then Chris Statlander, it was tough. But I commend AEW for, really doing a good job of at least trying to push and create new women's stars, I'd say. I don't know, even though well, yeah. So yeah, I would say, I don't know. I mean, it's good on them, but yeah, we can go into anything. Let's go on to that next segment, the 2-on-2 false Count Anywhere tag team match between the Young Bucks and the Butcher and the Blade. And honestly, I thought this was, again, another entertaining match. Falls Count Anywhere, so another no DQ for this week. I thought it was kind of interesting how it started back in the kitchen.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, obviously, like, another tag team match that's great for AEW. I mean, we can talk about overall division in a second, but, yeah, this is kind of what I'm talking about, where there's something new every week, where they're, like, taking ideas and just making something fresh. And it's like false Count Anywhere matches. Well, they're not overexposed in WWE by any stretch of the imagination.
No,
but,
yeah.
What I will say is, like, having a false Count Anywhere tag team match seems pretty rare. Like, you almost never see that certain stipulation with tag teams, which I thought was really entertaining. And really, this is just like, it was perfect for Butcher and the Blade. I love that they were in the kitchen, and Butcher had like the Butcher's cape or whatever you call it on.
Apron.
It's not cape.
Apron.
Yeah, apron. And it was just smart. Like, start this in the back of the arena. Like, why not? It's a false Count Anywhere. It makes sense. Bring the ref back there and let's get this thing started. It was fun back there. And then kind of once they progressed back to the ring after commercial break, it was just balls to the wall. A lot of good stuff.
Really quick. A lot of action getting in.
The more I see Butcher and Blade, the more I really am buying into them. Maybe not as like a top tier tag team.
Mm-hmm.
But like they can definitely go, like absolutely, like they like I just didn't know much about them when I first started seeing them, and I saw him wrestle FTR and all.
And he was wearing, Blade was wearing that weird black mask on his face.
Yeah, I mean he still wears it when he comes out, but I think it looks cool. I mean,
Blade's
why not?
Cut. I didn't realize how cut Blade is. He
really is. Look. Butcher, well, like you might see Butcher and think, oh, he's kind of just an overweight guy, or like usual. He really isn't. He's built like he's like. Like you can tell, like he's definitely
built like an ape. He's a big mother. Yeah,
like he's strong. Like that guy is like maybe he has little gut, but damn, like he's really like he's just like stiff, you know. Like he's not. He can move. He's not like a typical overweight like wrestler. Maybe if you'd say like, I mean, I don't have a problem.
How tall is he? Like 6'8"?
Favorite, but
is he like 6'8", 6'9"?
Who?
Butcher.
No. I'd say he's probably like 6'2" at the most.
Yeah, 6'3" maybe with boots on.
Yeah, I mean, he's not really towering over like these guys.
He's just a big built.
And he's
quick.
I mean, he can just go. Like he's just another guy who can go in there. I think it's just when they first presented them, it was just like, who the hell are these guys? Like, they just look random as hell, and they were presented in such a big spot, and I don't think anyone knew who the hell.
Yeah, they were just outside the ring, like, and then they got super kicked, and they started fighting Young Bucks or whatever. Well, that's the first time, right?
No. When they debuted against.
It was early this year. Was it with MJF against Cody?
Yeah. Yes. That was right. Yeah, good call there, Max. Yeah, they attacked Cody, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, so they seem like they come in as lackeys or just some random tag team to help MJF, but like they've really been able to shine on their own in this tag team, like 4-team feud here.
Now, Max, do you have that list that you were talking? I sent you this morning up at all?
Absolutely.
Have you counted how many tag teams there are? We discussed this last week with Sam, or earlier this week with Sam, just to kind of the state of the tag team division. Name off how many tag teams there are in this.
First, I do want to give a shout out to some of the spots in this match. There's the one, the tope, the dive over the ring that Blade did, where he missed. And I think he was supposed to go through a table, but he missed the table and like landed on his back, and it looked just gnarly.
Hell yeah!
And then the ending spot through the tables was very cool.
The ending spot through the tables, yeah.
Okay. So I said on Monday Night Raw's show that that AEW has like 10 to 12 great teams, and like it's much more than that. So just list them off. Maybe you guys can keep account. So there's the champions, Hangman Page and Kenny, Young Bucks, SCU, Lucha Brothers, Best Friends, Private Party, the Dark Order, OG, Evil Anus to Grace. There's also Dark Order, Brody Lee and Colt Cabana, and Dark Order, John Silver, Alex Reynolds. There's 3 Dark Order teams. There's Jurassic Express, Hybrid 2, who I want to see more of. I loved Angelico and Lucha Underground. Proud and Powerful, The Sex Gods, Butcher and Blade, MJF and Wardlow, Strong Hearts. So I don't know much about.
Oh, that's SEMA. That's SEMA.
SEMA, T-Hawk, and Lindemann.
Okay.
Nightmare Family, Dustin Rhodes, and KT Marshall. FTR, the number 1 tag team. Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss, the Gun Club, and they also list Brian Cage and Ricky Starks, which we'll get into in a second here. So
about 21.
About 21. Jesus.
21 tag teams.
Monday Night Raw, 5.
And like
not even
there's
5.
There's obviously a pecking order, but like not really. Like the 10 to 16 type range for tag teams is still great.
Mm-hmm. Like it's hard to say if they had an 8-man, they'd have to do a 16-man tournament, and even just to get into the 16-man tournament, you'd have to beat some, prelims.
I know, and I mean, looking back, like, is even all the 8 tag teams from the original tournament still in AEW?
Yeah, I think so. Honestly, they haven't let any, like, Tony Khan's got
I mean, they're a year into it, so they probably haven't like let anybody go. I just didn't know if there was anybody that like they just like maybe split up even. Like,
question. Last night I heard during the women's match they were talking about a women's tag team tournament.
Yeah, so we can probably get into that in a second once we talk about that spot because that's kind of coming up. I don't know, but just that tag team division, like when you see it, like it's just absurd. Now, I mean, obviously a lot of these tag teams are probably not exclusively going to be a tag team division team, but they're just great. Like the Sex Gods, Brian Cage and Ricky Starks, I assume won't be fully in it as a tag team. It might just be like a stable type situation. But I mean, up and down, it's just so solid.
Dude, they've got how many 10 teams of like they could do a week. I want them to do a weekend tournament of tag team wrestling. I would watch. I used to hate tag team wrestling until the revival when Max showed me. Like, I didn't hate it, but like I didn't love it as much. The days of watching Heath Slater and Rhino, weren't exactly a good way to put me back.
That's a bad example. I liked Heath Slater and
Rhino. They weren't that good of matches. I'm just saying
Murdoch and Lance Cage.
The matches blow my mind. The matches of FTR in NXT when you showed me that, Max, blew my mind. We had so much. We watched on like a Friday night one time.
Well, yeah, because their matches are unreal. I mean, their matches against DIY they were top tier. They were 5-star matches.
Do it yourself.
So. Yeah, I mean, it's insane FTR's coming into tag team division so strong. And I think it just shows how great they are that they're really standing out more than anybody else in this tag team division. Yeah, more than the Young Bucks.
Who's your favorite tag team right now, Matt Moose?
Young Bucks.
Oh man, so for me, you know who I think is the best tag team division? I would say is Lucha, the Lucha Bros.
So we're all three split.
I mean, I love the Lucha Bros.
I love Lucha Bros. Love the Lucha Bros. I love Pentagon. I just love Pentagon.
I like
Pentagon. They're both great. Pentagon's great.
Look at us act like kids. We're just like, oh, I like them better. No, them. Yeah.
I mean, pretty absurd that FTR is not your favorite tag team, honestly, since they're the best. But I mean,
they are must-see TV. I'll tell you what.
I enjoy watching, but I'd much rather see the Young Bucks win over FTR.
Because I would say the Young Bucks are the best tag team. Like it's FTR, the Young Bucks. Like
that one dude, that dude on Twitter made it perfectly. FTR is the best pure wrestling, and then Young Bucks are the best spot wrestlers.
Yeah. They can. They're guys. They set up the entire tag team match beforehand, probably, and maybe they do some on the spot. But it seems like there's a lot set up kind of beforehand. Okay, and then Moose, you just kind of brought up the women's tag team division. So right now
they kind of hinted at it yesterday. They were just like during the Diamante and what's her name? How do you pronounce it? Ivalice's match at the end. They're talking about something about women's tag team tournament. Maybe they could be paired up. You know what I mean? Like, so I was just kind of confused. Like, that really hasn't been marketed, at least to my knowledge.
They just announced it yesterday.
Okay. I was gonna say that's the first time I heard it. So
I don't know much. Like Ivalice Diamante match I thought it was a really solid women's match. Frankly.
Yeah, I actually thought so too. It's kind of cool to see that. It's kind of cool to see them adding to their women's division. And did you know that one of them was? I don't know which one it was, but I think it's Diamante. Oh no, Ivalice was a former Tough Enough competitor.
Really?
Yeah, she's had some history WWE with that, and with I think she had some tryouts with WWE. No, I've been a big fan of Ivalice. I mean, I haven't watched her since probably 5 years, but I watched her in Lucha Underground, and I loved her in Lucha Underground. I believe if I remember correct, in the first season she was with God, what was that? Who did I just say? Jack Evans and what's the guy's name?
I don't know, someone you said you loved him in Lucha Underground.
Yeah, Jack Evans and Helico.
And Helico. It was Ivalice and Helico were like a tag team in Lucha Underground. She wrestled men. Like, it was very interesting. Like, it was like new to me, but like she was great, and like I've been a fan of her since then. So I think for me, that's why I didn't love her taking the loss here. I think she's like somebody they can really build on. But Diamante, I don't know much about her, but she seemed like she could go in the ring too. She's definitely a strong talent in the division. And they've got to really focus on these type of women that are like really they can kind of have a good match and can get over, and not people that maybe they're building up. So like, I don't know, it's just a weird position right now for them to announce an eight.
Whatever happened to that one girl that came out, that freaky looking girl, Adobe or what her name is?
Oh yeah,
what's her name?
Abaddon
or something.
Yeah, we hadn't seen her since that last match where she had that win over Ali J or whatever her name is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're really rushing this. If do they really think they can have a 16-woman, 8-woman tag team tournament? I mean, they're just going to create random tag teams. Are they going to make tag team belts? That seems really premature. I mean,
yeah, I think it needs to be at least a couple more years before they introduce.
Are they doing this? But I think they have to, guys, because they got that TV deal coming, man. They got another show coming, and they got to start filling 2 TV shows worth of content.
Yeah, they do. They need to sign more.
Hell, they could do their second.
I feel like they are. I feel like we see. If you look at Dark is like new people every single week.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
when's Bianca Belair's contract up? On her on AEW.
Oh, dude. Yeah, honestly, I want you could want like even the smallest person on the totem pole. WWE's women's division is so stacked, like insanely stacked. If they get Tessa Blanchard, it'll be like. I'm surprised how AEW is doing so well at like finding these people, truthfully, because it is like WWE just poaching everybody.
Because everyone wants to be like Becky and Charlotte and all of them. You know what I mean? They pretty much changed. They changed the women's division, and so.
No, you're right. You're very right. You're very right about that. Guys. So what about we got to talk about like Moxley, Cage, Darby, and Stark still.
So is FTR trying to?
Before we get into that. we should talk about this Moxley thing because I think this might have happened in the first hour.
Yeah, I think
I'm not
so
sure
too.
exactly
I
when.
think so too. It was like it may have been beginning of the second hour.
Yeah,
The
so
promo?
it was a Cage promo.
Yeah.
Brian Cage and Taz, and they drew out Darby Allin, who and they kind of showed also that Ricky Starks had joined up with them on Dark, and then Ricky attacks Darby Allin when he's coming out.
So is Ricky with Cage, or is he with?
Ricky's with Taz. Well, I mean,
Taz,
under
okay.
the
Next week
leadership
he's in a
of
tag
Taz.
The tutelage of Taz. Okay.
Yeah, so
But they're in a tag
which I
team
love
next
that.
week.
I think that's really smart. Like Brian Cage, obviously huge talent. Give a mouthpiece was really smart too, just because I don't know if Cage is the best talker. And
He's such a nice. He's got that thing where he just sounds like such a nice guy.
yeah, so like that's why he's got to have a kind of a badass manager. And Ricky Starks, I mean, he just is a young guy, so I just think it's smart to him like to get that kind of like performer that's like Taz, who has so much experience and like obviously such a great talker, like to have him teaching Ricky Starks like all these things, like being under the tutelage of Taz is really smart in my opinion. Like, and I think Ricky Starks,
I like that. You're right.
He's so young. Like, give him this opportunity. Like, he definitely, like, he's in great shape. He definitely can be a guy that can be in a solid tag team with Brian Cage if that's the direction they go. And, like, he can –
well, they're in a tag match next week. So.
Yeah, they're in a tag match next week. And, so they attacked Darby Allin, and they got Mox to come out with a baseball bat with a barbed wire baseball bat, which was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, yeah.
It looked like he could have hit one of them with it. He just kind of didn't because they were, like, getting out of the ring, and he was, like, walking up in the middle of the ring, and he was, like, coming with it, but he didn't actually swing at him. He just kind of, like, scared him off. I was like, oh, you could have totally hit him there, Moxley. Like, you probably should have, but didn't really bother me, honestly. But
did you see Ricky Starks run out and hit Darby Allin, and Darby Allin – that would happen?
Yeah, Darby Allin tweeted that he got knocked the hell out.
That's what I thought. Yeah, dude.
It wasn't the hit. It was he hit him, and then his head ricocheted off of the ring rope, which knocked him out. It's pretty scary. But
Ricky caught him, though. Ricky did catch him, which was smart of Ricky.
Yeah.
Like, when he hit it, he caught him and kind of put him down.
I think they did it safely. I mean, I wouldn't say it was anybody's fault. It was just
it was like a slipper. It looks like it was a slippers. Like, his slippers may have slipped or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So – yeah, they have a
intense scene though. Like, yeah, I'm excited. Good for them on pushing Darby Allin like this. Darby Allin's a bad man. I like him a lot. Great to have him
back. I'm excited to see him wrestle.
I am too. I'm actually really happy to have him back too. Dude, AEW has like they've got so much talent for 2 hours. It's unreal right now.
It is. It's crazy.
It really is. I'm really loving it. So, and also I love the fact that they're doing something that WWE's never done is essentially have like these coaches. QT Marshall is like a coach. And anytime they have anyone under him wrestle, they always point out, she is trained under QT Marshall. He is trained under, same with like, Ricky Starks now with Brian Cage under the Taz. I love that. I think that's something that's really cool, and that's what other companies do in other countries, like in New Japan. I'm pretty sure in New Japan they do the same thing. So I just like that they're doing something a little bit different than WWE. AEW, kudos to that again. It's something different. It makes it very unique compared to WWE. So let's also then we can get into the Dark Order and Hangman Page. Pretty much just what happened with that is just really Hangman Page just had a quick match with – it wasn't John Silver, right?
Number 5. Whatever number 5 is.
It was 5.
5. They had a quick match, but the main thing it was just that essentially, I think it was Colt Cabana. Yeah, tried recruiting him into it and saying, we won't leave you like Hangman Page does. And then they ended up in a brawl. Looks like they're gonna have a tag team match. It's probably next week or in 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, so
I think it was announced the next week. Maybe.
Yeah, the biggest thing here is that FTR was the first one to come out and fight off Dark Order and not Kenny Omega, his tag team partner. Mm-hmm. So, like, that's kind of the continuation.
They gave him a beer.
Yeah, FTR kind of courting Hangman while Kenny Omega is kind of falling apart. Just because Kenny and Hangman obviously aren't great friends, kind of has been the storyline, but they're a great tag team. Yeah. Which is pretty interesting to see if, like, is Hangman losing trust with Kenny? Is he kind of going more to FTR side, which I kind of think is really interesting. It makes sense. And, I'm loving this whole thing.
Such good shit.
And I think it really probably has to lead to FTR taking the titles off of these two. And then Kenny, and then Hangman, or hopefully Kenny turning on Hangman. Thinking Hangman just kind of biffed it for for FTR or something like that. I don't know. A lot of ways this can go, but I'm very invested in this.
Obviously. So do you guys think that All Out is going to be FTR Young Bucks? Or do you think that's going to be the direction?
Dude, it's hard to say, man, because FTR versus Young Bucks could main event a pay-per-view, and they could just do FTR versus
Lucha Bros or something.
No, versus for the tag title, like Page versus Omega.
Oh,
yeah. That'd be a 5-star match. That would actually be a 5-star match.
I don't know if they want. I feel like.
And then have FTR with the titles defended against Young Bucks at the next pay-per-view. Have them main event or something. Because then the Young Bucks are such a big name. They can have a tag team match against anywho, and that can be a very good match at All Out. I would be very happy to see that. I don't need to see them at All Out. I just need a good. I need a good world heavyweight title match. I need a good. Well, they did that last year for All Out. The ladder match between the Young Bucks and Lucha Bros. So
jeez.
Yeah, that was a fantastic match.
What was the ladder match for?
The CMA CMLL.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was a very, very good. That was just I don't know. I just think that that there's so much tag team divisions. They can have their own match with somebody else. Then let's do FTR versus Hangman Page. Bam, they lose that. They don't need to I think All Out because it's not going to be a pay-per-view with fans. So just make it a very decent pay-per-view that if we got to spend our money on it. Make some pretty good matches, but I don't need to see it yet necessarily.
Yeah.
I can see them pushing it out.
And now moving on to the main event, Serpenticle, baby.
Yeah, let's go. All right, so we got the main event. It was Chris Jericho, kind of Les Sex Gods. I don't know, just the inner circle of him and Jake Hager, and then versus the Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, the Jurassic Express. Great match. Honestly, I thought it was a really good entertaining match. Yeah.
Yep.
And it was interesting. It was good seeing Jake Hager versus Luchasaurus. I love seeing just two beefheads face it out and go at each other.
Yep.
They both looked really good. It was really quick too. I wish sometimes with the big guys they would slow it down. Truthfully, they didn't need to be doing all this kick and then and then and then It's like you guys are big guys. Do it for a little bit and then I don't know. That's my only gripe. But
kind of Luchasaurus' style though. I mean, he's Luchasaurus. He's not Lucha headlock.
He's a martial artist.
You're right. That's a good point. I forget about that. Okay. All right. Good point, Max. It was a good match. And then
it was a very good match. The right people won, Jericho and Hager. And then there's probably the moment. Yeah. So the moment of the night probably here was we think it's Serpentico coming out to help join the Dark Order, take the mask
inner
off.
Circle.
Sammy Guevara, baby.
Yeah, you mean inner circle? Yeah. Sammy Guevara, baby. Yeah, you said Dark Order.
Oh, well, I meant Inner Circle. And Sammy Guevara is back with the Inner Circle.
It's good to see him back. I'll tell you that.
My favorite part of this whole thing, Jericho, who just looked so surprised and then had the biggest grin on his face. This guy just looks like he's happy. It looks like him and freaking Sammy Guevara could have a love triangle.
They do, dude. He missed. Yeah, it seemed like he missed him.
Yeah, it was like his little brothers back home. After not seeing him for 6 months, he just was so happy. He was grinning ear to ear. It was fantastic.
I think also just because it's not the four of them, it's the five of them. It's the five of those guys. It's what I mean. The four of them, it's where's the one guy at? And now it's Inner Circle. Okay, it's back. It's good to see them all together. I love the Inner Circle, man.
Yeah, they're so entertaining.
Is that going to be a 5-on-5? And then that's leading up to a 5-on-5 match next week.
Yep.
Between
Orange Cassidy, Best Friends, and then Jurassic Express.
Yep. So that's going to be a very, very good match. Very excited about that.
Oh, yeah. I'm just so happy to have Gabe Guevara back. I mean, he's so good.
Yeah.
And, he's this. He's that guy where he can go in the ring, but he's almost more entertaining just as, a person, as Chris Jericho's friend. It's just so entertaining.
Yeah, all five of them together. You knew they were missing him too, and just you could tell without him being there. Just they were just it just seemed different.
Mm-hmm.
So it's great to have him back. God, I can't believe I'm saying that. I missed Sammy Guevara, especially a year ago when he walked to a ring in a panda suit and a panda hat.
You're muted again.
You're muted, Kev.
Hello. Hello?
Yeah, you're right.
Now you're good.
Oh, goddamn. I hate when that happens. It's just crazy to say what a year is. All right, but yeah, other than that, that is AEW for this week. What'd you guys think of the show? Any quick notes before we go?
It was pretty solid. I think I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, 6.5, 7 out of 10. I mean, that's really good for a weekly show. So I mean,
same, dude. I would take that too. I would say it's about a 6.5 to a 7
See,
as
that's
well.
what I like. That's what I like about AEW too, is they consistently put out 7 out of 10s every single week. Whereas Raw is like,
true.
Raw will be 9 out of 10, and the next week will be 4 out of 10.
Oh my God, it's so true.
True. I love how they pretty much also set up almost every next week's show is almost always set up
stacked with matches ready to go.
Tag team championship match, Dark Order versus Hangman Page and Kenny. Shida is going in to take on Diamante after Diamante's win over Ivelisse. The Tornado Tag match, Darby and Mox versus Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. Cody's defending, and then 5-on-5 Inner Circle versus the other 5 guys from the main event. So another big show next week. It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, man. Hey, guys, I appreciate you guys coming here again. Next week, we're going to try to have Sir Wilkins on this episode with us, hopefully. We're maybe reviewing Raw or AEW. We'll see. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and like this video. Share this with your friends. Where can they find you guys as well on the interwebs? Max
_walk on Twitter.
Perfect. Same with you, Moose.
M Abdallah20.
Perfect. Follow us at J3Jobbers on Twitter, and like I said, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We love you guys. Appreciate all the love and support, and we'll see you guys later. Hopefully gain more people onto these shows with us. Love you. Peace out.